How's it going, everyone? I am back today with another bike review, and today it's my State All-Road 6061 Black Label. I already did a full review on this bike, so if you want to check that out, I'll put that in the description below. I'll also include links to a bunch of the parts on this bike, and if you use our link below, that helps our channel out a ton, so I appreciate that. Speaking of helping our channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because that helps a ton. All right, let's get into this bad boy. So this is my State All-Road. This is the aluminum frame. This is a 54 centimeter, so it's basically like a medium, and it's in the dark woodland green, which I think is a pretty sick color. But it's a pretty heavily modded bike. There's not too much left on it that's stock. Not necessarily because things were bad. I just had a lot of parts laying around, so I'm going to go through everything on the bike. So starting at the front, I'm still running the State Black Label handlebars, and they're just wrapped with some Amazon bar tape. It's like cork tape. It's pretty nice. I didn't do the greatest job taping because I'm not really a roadie, so I don't know what I'm doing. And then I have Microshift Advent X levers. I actually stole these off my Poseidon Redwood because I do think the Microshift Advent X is a better system than State's 1x11. State's 1x11 is halfway decent, but if you're doing a lot of off-roading, it kind of the derailleur bumps around a lot and you have to adjust it pretty frequently. I'm still running the stock State carbon fork. I don't really see a need for an upgrade. This is not their monster fork, which is a little bit lighter and has some more mounting points, but I think this is a pretty good fork. I've had no complaints about it. The stem is just some cheap no-name Amazon stem. I have tons of these laying around that are just in different sizes, and I play around with them. I think, what does it say? It is a 60 millimeter length stem. So I guess that's what I decided was the best for me. I also have some tie bolts put in there, as well as the wolf tooth top cap and some wolf tooth spacers. The saddle I'm running is the Ergon SM C4. I believe it's actually like an enduro mountain bike seat. I had it laying around. I've always really liked this seat, so it's good for nice long rides. And I have this carbon seat post, probably off Amazon. I have a few of these laying around too for different bikes. Up front, I have a Wolf Tooth 38 oval chainring. Wolf Tooth 38 tooth chainring. That's kind of a mouthful, but you get the idea. And it's on this AliExpress crank that I got for like 50 bucks. Obviously, it's kind of strange looking. It's cool. It's very light, and it was pretty cheap. I mostly got it as an experiment, and it's held up pretty well, so I guess the experiment worked. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm running the Microshift Advent X drivetrain system. It's a wide range 1x10. I believe it's an 11 to 48 tooth cassette, and it's just a bit too wide for gravel, road, and cyclocross racing. I think I am going to switch the cassette out to a little bit narrower of a range cassette. But if you were wondering about the Microshift Advent stuff, it's really good. The shifting quality is fantastic on the Microshift products. So I highly suggest those if you're looking for a really cheap upgrade. For a wheel set, I'm running the Hunt Gravel Race. I also have a video on these. If you want to check that out, I'll include that in the description. For tires, I run the WTB Nano. They are 700C by 40. And I really like this tread pattern. I've ran it for a few years now. And it looks extremely aggressive, but it's super fast. It's almost a solid line down the middle. So when you're going straight on the road, it's actually pretty fast. And obviously, I don't need to talk about the traction because look at these things. I also have a set of 650B wheels that I run in the winter or when I'm doing a little bit more off-roading. These are actually off of Poseidon Redwood, and they have Quanta hubs, which I've never heard of, but I was really impressed with how well they spin. So I decided to keep these as my backup wheel set. And I have the WTB Senduro 47C tires. Also, very aggressive looking tread pattern. Basically a mountain bike tire, but rolls halfway decent, good traction, and it's a really great backup muddy day wheel set. I have 160 millimeter floating disc rotors as well as Tektro mechanical disc brakes. These are basically the same thing as the TRP Spire. A lot of people that have bought States complain about the braking power, and really the best fix and the thing that I would suggest the most is kind of the most boring. just replace the cable housing. It's just the housing that really kind of screws up the braking power. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to improve the brakes, and that's all it really was. But if you want to upgrade the whole system for pretty cheap, I highly suggest just getting TRP Spire calipers and then throwing on the Jaguar housing and cable kit. For pedals, I just run these cheap plastic pedals off Amazon. I'm a huge fan of them. I get like a set every year just to keep a fresh pair around, but they grip really well and they're pretty light, and that's all I could ask for. And if you're wondering why I don't run clips, it's because I don't like clips. But I will run clips sometimes. I have the State hybrid clips, and those are okay for really, really long rides. So I do have the bike set up tubeless, and it weighs just under 20 pounds. And when I say just under, I mean it weighs like 19.89 pounds. If you guys follow our channel, you've seen me use this bike on just about everything. Road, gravel, love taking it on single track. And then I also race cyclocross once in a while, and this bike's got to do it. So luckily, I'm not very fast at cyclocross, so equipment shouldn't matter that much. But more recently, since I started the Cycle Paths series, I've been sort of experimenting with bike packing setup because I have a lot of gear that I need to carry. So I'm going to show you my bags real quick. So right here, I have the State Top Tube bag. This was actually designed for the frame. I'm sure it'll fit just about any gravel bike. But I really like this bag. I can fit a surprising amount in it. It's got two sides with zippers. Let's see if I can get it open one-handed. Come on. It's got some pockets in here. Might even have some stuff in there. Nope. But then I also have the State under the seat bag. I have this actually loaded up with maintenance tools. And then up here, I have a Rhino Walk handlebar bag. This thing comes in handy. I can actually, it's weird. I can fit a full-size camera in here as well as my DJI Mini 2. And then I usually put a bunch of batteries and snacks in this one. So I'm loaded down pretty solid. And one day I will try and do a video of my Cycle Paths kind of gear and bike setup. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. I should probably mention that I am a State Bicycles brand ambassador. So if you're looking to buy a bike or anything off their website, make sure to go through the link in the description below. And feel free to hit me up with any questions that you might have in the comments or on our Instagram at AceBikeMedia. In the next Bike Checks video, I'll be doing my 2019 YT Jeffsy. So if you want to check that out, make sure you subscribe and keep an eye out in the next couple weeks.